to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
You got it with Ebro, Laura, and Rosenberg. And joining us today, Ashanti. I think she's in New York, coming off the win at Verzuz. I think not everybody agrees, but there was a lot of people who said Ashanti won.
Well, we did it on our show, Ebro. When we do it here, that's the tally that counts, and she came up with a narrow victory.
A narrow victory by one. That close, the closeout with what was that? Always on Time.
Yep, that was the last song we played.
And she was on time today, by the way, which apparently is a thing for
I
her.
was on time.
Yo, it's real life. I did not know Always on Time was actually Ashanti's way of life.
It's usually not. I was just very, I wanted to make sure we were on point, so we were on time.
Well, you were on time for the Verzuz. That was one of the big headlines was how you were there. I would say maybe 90 minutes where you were there and kind of entertaining the audience, waiting for Keyshia to arrive, who she apologized and said she was having technical difficulties. But talk us through that decision for you to go ahead and sit there and just entertain the audience. Was that what you intended to do, or were you actually thinking she was going to come sooner than that?
No, actually, I obviously thought she was going to be there a little bit sooner. I just felt like, as women camaraderie, if someone is late, you hold on a little bit, give them a little, you know what I mean? Give them a few. I know Ja has done that for me several times, being late for a show. He'd wait for me, you know what I mean, so that we can go out together. So I didn't even realize so much time was going by, and we were sitting, in the dressing room, and I got a call like, yo, we got to figure out what's going on. And I'm like, oh, she's not ready, or, whatever it is that was happening, something with her screen, I think, or the sound or something. I didn't even know what was going on.
Right, because you guys were in different locations.
Right, I was in New York. So I was like, okay, I have to go out because there's just people sitting there. This thing has been already up and down, the cancellation, the postponements, now it's late. So I said, okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer and then I'm gonna just go out. And that's what we did.
You and Keyshia have a pretty good relationship, in general as just women in the game, right? You guys know each other pretty well.
Yeah, we did the Woman to Woman record together. We met obviously a long time ago. And it's always been love. No beef, nothing like that. We're good.
So when you see the aftermath of Verzuz where people have tried to paint it as if, she had an attitude and there was shade and things, how does that register to you as someone when you're like, nah, me and Keisha's good, when you see that type of talk on the internet?
Everyone has their days. You know what I mean? I think there was probably a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of pressure when you think about that many people with eyes on you. You know what I mean? And if her stuff wasn't together, of course, you're going to be frustrated. It was something like with the in-ears or the mic, or the thing was blurry. So on top of being nervous and then having to deal with all of that, of course, you're going to be a little flustered. You know what I'm saying? Before you come in. Yeah. So I would just assume, that played a part into it.
Did you guys get to connect after the Verzuz battle? Did you talk or text or anything like that?
No, we didn't get a chance to.
Did you feel that there was anything you left off the table? Any songs that you struggled with but ended up deciding not to use them?
There are a few songs that we could have used, but I think we made a decision not to. A lot of people felt like when she played the Pac record, I should have played Big. And I felt like that too, but then we were like, that probably would have taken away from the impact of Foolish, because you know how we went from Foolish into Unfoolish.
Right.
In round, whatever the next set. You know what I mean? So that one, and what else? There was something else. There's a couple of songs that I guess that we could have played. But listen, I'm happy with the selection. The outcome was great. So, but tell me what do you think? What songs should we play?
Oh, go ahead, Rosenberg. What do you think was missed?
Honestly, not very much. I probably would have been excited if you played How We Roll, the Big Pun record.
Oh, my DJ is gonna. He wanted to put that in there. But
that would have been a cool one, but I don't know if they would either, honestly. It didn't end up popping the way I kind of hoped it would back then, but it was just a neat one because everyone's pulled out. Not everybody, but we've seen Big and Pac pulled out the pulling out pun would have been just an interesting one. But I thought generally, you basically hit everything. I didn't know if there were any other records you've written that maybe we didn't know that would have wowed people.
There are a few records that I had written, some stuff with Christina Milian, but I'm not sure, I'm not sure if they would have made an impact. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we were going to do Half How We Roll going into What's Love as like a little
Terror Squad.
Yeah. That's what we were going to do. But then I was like, I'm not sure if the majority of people are going to know How We Roll. So we just left What's Love. I think, what do we do that against? I forgot. But anyway.
Well, so you told a story during Verzuz about Diddy asking you if the JLO record you wrote was about him. And that was obviously at a crazy time, but on a couple of levels, I just want to know, financially speaking. Let's get to the money. That's my favorite question.
Oh my God.
That JLO record really brought in some checks, huh?
That was a really nice thing to be a part of.
It continually, it's the gift that keeps on giving, right? I got to imagine.
I'm sure.
And that's what I have to say for new artists and anyone coming up. Please write as much as you can, get as much % of the record as you can, because when you have a classic, timeless hit record, it is the gift that continues to give forever. When you're dead, it's for your kids after that. You know what I mean? So it is so important. And work on ownership. I own my masters now. You know what I mean? So it's so important to write and be a part of it. Even if people are like, if y'all are writing 2 sentences, get a %. You know what I'm saying? Right.
So how did that JLO record actually happen? You wrote the song for yourself, or you wrote it for JLO?
I wrote it for JLO.
Got it.
I wrote it for JLO. I think it was Tommy Mottola had reached out to Irv, and they needed a remix for the original record. And they played me the beat. I think it was 7. They chefed up the Craig Mack, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then he was just like, yo, just write something that goes along with, what's going on with her. And I'm like, what? And I heard the beat and I listened to the original song and I flipped it just, and added a little bit of flavor. And I wrote it. I wrote 2 verses. Okay, this was the crazy thing. It's how long ago. I wrote 2 verses in the studio. They flew to LA and I had to Skytel text him the 3rd, and I had to sing over the phone on a voice notes, on his voicemail, and so that they could hear, the flow and how everything went. It was so crazy. That's how old.
Wow.
That's how old technology was. Yeah.
Wait,
and
but
Job was the hook.
To be clear, how many records have you written for JLO?
I wrote "Ain't It Funny," but let's clear this up right now. So I demoed "I'm Real" and "Ain't It Funny" for JLO.
Okay.
They left my vocals on both of the records. Now, those things aren't uncommon, because, people want different textures and,
backgrounds,
they want
leave these backgrounds, etc.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They just want to make it, extra saucy. So the "I'm Real" record, I was mad because I wanted that record. You know what I mean? I told Herb, I was like, I want to do the song from Friday. You know what I mean? So I wanted that record. So that was the demo. Ja wrote that. I wrote "Ain't It Funny." And that was the remix of her original "Ain't It Funny." And my vocals are on that as well. So, it's not like a big, like people do it just for different textures and just to add up and make it saucy. So that's what I did.
Now, have you, when it came to you writing and performing records, how frequently were you in arguments with Irv and Ja? Because you guys at a time, your camp was like, everybody wanted a piece. Everybody wanted a song. Everybody wanted one of those hits.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the records that you literally had to fight tooth and nail to make sure you got? And then also, I would love to hear how much in the business side, because now you said you own your masters. They made sure you got a percentage of your writing back then. There's a lot of young artists, they get taken advantage of, especially back then. And right now, how was that? Was that Irv making sure your business was right? Was that you fighting to make sure your business was right? What was that dynamic?
I mean, as far as making sure the business is right, you have to have an amazing team. You know what I mean? Like, it's essential. You have to have attorneys. And it's hard because you have to trust people to handle that, because some things we just don't know. You know, the language and the legalities that come along with paperwork, we just don't know. You know what I mean? So that's first and foremost. Your team and you have to be like this to make sure that your ship continues to move forward. As far as writing, they didn't believe that I was writing my own records. So with me being the only female amongst all of these rappers, because even with Charlie and Vita, they're rappers. I was the only singer and I'm a female. So they would be having me battle, you know, so they would do a beat. And if I wanted this and Caddy wanted this, we'd have to write and see whoever came up with the illest verses or the best record to get that beat. You know what I mean? So it was a good thing for me because it really pushed me and I had to, it was like a competition, you know what I mean? So that I will say helped to mold just the topics and my cadence and how I do things, because just coming from a record label with all guys and all rappers, it, you know, it naturally is going to kind of flow with whatever it is that's going on. So when I'm writing, you know, I feel like that's a difference in, like, you know, some of my records and some other female records, you know what I mean? Because it still has that hip hop sauce on it.
Yeah,
was it weird feeling like at the time as Murder Inc.'s exploding, did you feel the momentum as you went from someone who was kind of featured and around to being sort of the co-star, if not the star, of everything that was going on with Murder Inc.?
It definitely was something that was felt, you know. I was just so young and naive. I just wanted to make sure that everything was going good and everyone was happy with what was going on. Like when I found out about, you know, the record sold in the first week and making a Guinness Book of World Records, when they told me, yo, you sold 500,000. Like,
yeah,
I was
she'll
like,
stun on you. Just wait for it. She'll stun.
no,
The humble brags fly. Right.
I'm telling you, I swear on everything, I genuinely didn't know if that was a good number. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, is that good? Is that positive? I genuinely didn't know. You know what I mean? And to understand it now, I appreciate it way more now than I did then, because just understanding the concept of what was done. You know what I mean? So to feel that switch going from, you know, how we roll, you know what I mean, to Always on Time and What's Love and Foolish, it happened so fast for me, you know what I mean? And I don't know, it caught up to me years later, just understanding what was done and the blessing that came, you know.
Why did Ja Rule end up, do you remember why Ja Rule was on What's Love and then wasn't?
A demo, again, he demoed it the same way that I was demoing stuff for JLO, you know what I mean? So Ja did the What's Love first, and I think Joe was like, oh, we should keep Ja on there, you know what I mean? Something happened like that. So there are versions with Ja, and then there's obviously Joe.
And what was the politics on the Tamia and Ashanti on the Fab record? One was on the album, one was a single. What happened there?
So they asked to do the single, So Into You. I did it, and I think Fab and then they wanted me to shoot the video. And I think Irv, he kind of was on his, you know, he didn't want me to shoot the video. You know, I guess he felt like I was being oversaturated. So for them, business-wise, it's like, why would we have the single out with her and then not be able to shoot the video? Fair. And then I think that's when they got Tamia to shoot the video and then do the song. I really believe that is what happened. Because there's a bunch of different stories, but I feel like that's what I was told. And I was ready, though. I was always ready to do the video. You know, when you're newest, you want to be a part of everything. So I wanted to do it.
When those label politics happen where they try to control the visibility of an artist, you know, to keep some exclusivity, and it gets territorial and label politics, et cetera, et cetera. But those words on I'm So In, those were Tamia's words, right? Or did you flip her original song a little bit?
Basically, it obviously it's Fab's song. So they got the sample, they flipped it. It was their concept, their idea. I just came in and did what she did. You know what I mean? Right. Like, they wanted the same vibe, they wanted the same feel, and it was her record, you know. Right. So obviously she had to clear it. So that's
so it ended up being a win-win. It ended up
Absolutely.
working out when you look back at it.
Definitely.
Now, fast forward to 2019. You are, in a video. I think you are definitely crushing them on the gram. Anytime you post something on vacation, whether you're in the
By the way, it seems like she's always on vacation. Based on
I mean, we're gonna get into that in a minute. I don't know how.
Listen, and don't even start with that, Ebro, because you be texting me. Don't even start with that.
I'll be like, yo, where you at now? Who done flew you out now? What kind of oil shake in Dubai? What's going on? Who you dating, son? What is this?
Listen, let me explain something to y'all. 99% of the time, if I'm on vacation, I promise you I got paid. I either did a show or I'm doing something and it led to, this is what's in my contract. If I'm performing in the Caribbean, guaranteed 3 days, hotel, everything expenses on top of what's going on.
Right.
So when I'm on vacation, I'm still working.
Beautifully done.
Hey, that's how you do it, though.
Should be as you should.
But I also, I mean, even to this, and credit to you for taking care of yourself. You still look amazing. Shout out to your mama and daddy for the great genes and everything that's working for you. But the baby put you in a video and on his album. Joyner Lucas, I think you're in a video with Joyner Lucas too. Like you're still people want Ashanti now just as much as they wanted Ashanti then. Is my point.
Yo, let me tell you something. If I were to show you my DMs right now, I'm flabbergasted by like these young. It's crazy. Like it's crazy. And I'm super, super humble, super, super grateful. I did not do the video with Baby though. We did the record.
And there was like a photo, there was an album cover or something, or a single cover.
Oh no, that was Tory.
Yeah, that's Tory Lanez.
Oh, that's Tory Lanez. Got it.
So I did the cover for Tory. We did the record, and then I did the record with Baby and Meg, and then I did the Joyner Lucas record and video. So, I mean, it definitely, it's a blessing. You know what I mean? Having the conversations with all three of them, just, having them explain, because I'm like, not that I'm downing myself or anything, but it's just like, okay, cool. Like just hearing what they had to say and, how they've watched me and, all that good stuff. It's a good feeling to be current with everything that's going on, being that I've been in the game so long. You know what I mean? So to sit here and talk about my first album being almost 20 years old and I'm still up here with the most relevant artists is really a blessing. I'm humble.
Did you feel like you were always sort of a sex symbol, or is it like, because I thought of your brand back in the day as very cool. And I know you were super influential to women and style and things like that, but I don't know that I thought of you as much of a sex symbol as you're thought of now. Am I wrong? Has it always been that way, or has there been an evolution as time has gone on?
No, I think you're 100% right. Oh, I like the big pump post in the background.
Oh, no doubt.
I think you're 100% right. I feel like it was very important to go on that journey, to grow as an artist, as a female, and touch a generation of girls and even guys in high school, and then going to college, and then becoming an adult, and then becoming married, and then becoming so I think for me, it's about the marathon. You don't want to just jump on the scene and just be it. For me, I think it was something that was really important to go on that journey, and that creates longevity. You know what I mean? And listen, you got to be in the gym too. So
yeah. It didn't just happen by accident.
Thing that people celebrate you for, though. You have this beautiful natural body, and you take care of yourself. You promote health. So I think that's one of the main reasons that people say, like, look, because you just celebrated your 40th birthday, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you look incredible.
Thank you.
So I think that's one of the reasons why so many women celebrate you. Like, look at this. I feel like this new generation of like 40-year-olds do not look the same like 40-year-olds from back then. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely. It's important. You know what I mean? It's important to take care of yourself from the inside out. And I know that a lot of, sometimes people go and enhance things or whatever. It's all about like your confidence and how you feel. You know what I mean? And just being healthy from inside out. And that always transpires. It shows.
Ashanti, I'm sure the COVID situation you got yourself into going to get money. I think you had a show out in South Africa. Was that the situation?
Yeah, there was so much stuff that was going on. So wait, COVID. No, I went to Nairobi. I went to Kenya beforehand. And this is the thing. So I was out there with like 13 people and we were eating together, doing videos, laughing, just went on a safari. Like it was an amazing, amazing time. None of them got COVID. None of them had it. When I got back home, I got tested the night before we were supposed to leave. And I got tested as like a precaution. Like, I know I don't have it, so I'm just doing this as a solid for them so I can get on the plane. So The plane was ready. Bags were packed. My stylist was at my house. We were doing the fitting. Like, all of that stuff was in preparation. So I went, I almost left my car running. Like, okay, let me go get this real quick so I can get out of here. So when I got the results, I was like, me?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is mine? I was stunned. I was floored. I had absolutely no idea. Now, I did have a sniffle and I had lost, I think, my sense of smell, but that wasn't anything like irregular. I'm like, okay, maybe I got allergies from the safari. You know what I mean? In no way, shape, or form did I think I had COVID. So when she told me, like, I was shocked. I was stunned because we were in preparation, ready to go. You know what I mean?
On your way to the Verzuz.
Yes, on my way to the Verzuz. So I got on the phone with my mom, my team first. Then we called Larry from Apple. And then I was like, yo, I'm still ready to do it. You know what I mean? Like, we were on the phone with Apple for like 3.5 hours. And we figured out that we can still do it from my laptop if they shipped over these cords. And they were like, it's a simple thing. You can hook it up to your laptop. My DJ and my creative director flew out to LA. So they were on the stage. So I would have been the only person that was just, via
the
satellite, whatever you call it. And the music still would have been fine. It would have been a little bit of delay with us speaking, but everything was fine. So I was like, I'm ready, And they were just like, I don't think it's going to be a good idea. And I don't think Keyshia wanted to do it that way either. I think initially she wanted to be in person as well. We all wanted it to be in person, but with what happened, I was just like, look, I'm ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The DJ is there. I'll put a hoodie on and my glasses. I'm good.
And so you got a lucky case of COVID. It wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad, thank God. I lost my taste and smell, and I had a little bit of nasalness, but that was it. Nothing crazy. My mom actually got it really bad. She was in a hospital for like 5 days, so it had into her lungs. She got like COVID pneumonia. It was bad. Oh my gosh, y'all, I was going crazy. I snuck in the hospital. They had to kick me out.
All right, y'all breaking all type of rules in that house. We need to have a talk offline, B.
It was bad.
You went to South Africa thinking it was sweet, or Kenya thinking it was sweet, got COVID, came back, moms get sick, and you breaking in the hospitals.
But it doesn't sound like you got COVID in Africa, though, because you said that.
That's the point that I was trying to make. I want to make this very clear, and that's why I said I was out there with 12, 13 people, and none of them got it. So I got COVID from being home. I got COVID from a family member that had it. He didn't know he had it. He gave me a hug. He went and got tested. 3 days later, I got it. And I was like, it was like the worst feeling because I feel like I always wear my mask. I'm always doing sanitizer. I'm staying, 6 feet apart. And I did everything I was supposed to do. How I get COVID in my house? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that to me just shows that it's real. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter what's going on. You could still get it. You know what I mean?
And it was a trust, and they've talked about this recently too, especially during the holidays, the whole trusted family member thing. When you're trusting a family member, and it's like, yo, it's my family. He handling his business. I know, or I know her. I know she doing her thing. Right, and one little mistake that they made is the one, and then you make the mistake, and now boom.
It's the worst. Thank God my sister didn't get it. She knew though. She was like, well, I'm staying in Brooklyn. My sister stayed very far away. She's the only one that didn't get it. You know what I mean? And it's hard because you want to be around your family, and I was very grateful. My little cousins came. They were dropping off little gift bags and food. Shout out to my little cousin Aaliyah and Elijah. They came and, made dinner and they left apple juice and all kind of stuff outside. And it was weird because like I'm looking at them on the camera like, damn, I can't even go hug my family, but it was a dose of reality that it can happen regardless, you know? So I hope people understand that.
You got a new single, 235. We're gonna play it right now. Is there an Ashanti album in 2021?
Definitely. I'm definitely putting a body of work together. Very excited about it. I'm still torn between just doing an EP or an album. But I'm definitely putting a body of work together this year. And the video is out. We just dropped it at midnight and the response has been amazing. So I'm very, very excited.
Check that joint. It's on the R&B now. It's at the top of the R&B Now playlist on Apple Music right now. It's Ashanti and SZA and Jasmine Sullivan and Tiana Taylor and her. You know what I mean? How you feel? Speaking of all those names, R&B is amazing. Like looking at the trajectory of the music and the artists in R&B, you got to be happy to see what's going on out here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like it's time. We've been in the house. You know what I mean? So it's nothing like a good R&B record ready to just let go and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
It is. Well, it's good seeing you. Send my love to the family over there, Ashanti. Congrats on maintaining everything and continuing to be a force out here. And let's get on that 235. It's good to see you, man. Stay safe.
Thank you so much. Oh, and listen, you have to go and you have to go and get my sister's candles, Wife of Creation, these essential oil candles. When you
saw you promoting that. That's your sister?
That's my sister's line. They're amazing. I swear to you, you want to see how my body is glowing and then all of that is all from the essential oils in her candle. It's called Wife of Creation.
Wife of Creation.
Right here on Instagram. Holistic inspired lifestyle brand.
Yes.
Yo, look at the little one getting money out here.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shia.
Okay. I like this.
Oil is crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to cop some for my lady right now.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Thank you, Ashanti.
Thanks, Ashanti.
Ashanti, great seeing you. All right, talk to you in a minute.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Later.